big, beautiful, loving planet called Earth, we as I as a human being do a lot of things that may not make a whole lot of sense to every single person on this planet. And it's okay to not, do the things that we want to do. And there's other times where we can do things that we extremely want to do, like going to the movie theaters, going on a hike, going on an adventure at some point, playing video games, reading books, watching TV shows, collecting items or collecting things, whether it's a DVD that was released 50 years ago, or not a DVD, but like any kind of movie that was released in the past 50 years, a TV show that has been released in the last 10 or 20 years, a book that's been released like 50 years ago to today, all kind. I'm a collector, and I don't collect everything, but I do collect a few things. Like, for example, I collect Pop Funkos, I collect certain DVDs, I collect books, I collect Legos, I collect TV shows, and I collect posters and newspaper articles from when the Giants won the World Series, which sometimes you can see behind me, most of the time you can see behind me. That's just what I do. That's just who I am. I'm a collector. I don't hoard things. I'm just collecting them because they are important to me. And not everyone collects the same things I do. Maybe some of you collect Pop Funkos. Maybe some of you collect video games or books or movies or TV shows or video games or whatever it is. Everyone collects their own things. Whatever that may be for you, that's great. And keep collecting it. Because at the end of the day, collection is important. I'm planning on keeping my Pop Funkos for the rest of my life. And then having someone in my family who's, much younger than me, have them collect it and tell them about it, whether it's a cousin, whether it's a nephew, whether it's a niece, whatever it is. And the same thing with my movie collection, same thing with my my Lego collections, same thing with my book collections, same thing with my video game collections. Even though I don't really collect video games, I play them, and then they just sit there and gather dust. Movies can do that too, and everything else that I mentioned could gather dust as well. But the thing is, I like collecting things, basically. And that's what you guys need to understand, is that just because my collecting of things, whether it's Pop Funkos, whether it's books, whether it's movies, whether it's TV shows, whether it's video games, whether it's sort of clothing, whether it's Lego sets, whether it's supporting my fellow teams, posters from Game of Thrones, things of that nature. That's just me personally as a human being. Collector. I'm a collector. I'm not a hoarder. I'm a collector. There's a difference between those two things. Hoarding is when it gets to be too much. Collecting is just having the right amount of things. Anyways, that's it for today's vlog. I am going to see The Exorcist Believer, which means that last night I watched The Exorcist because I rented it on Amazon, and I watched it completely. The 1973 version. There are so many other versions of The Exorcist, but I believe there's a 1949 version, there's a 1990s version, and there's a few other ones that have been released since the 1973 version. And who knows what this new movie is going to be? It's going to be 2 hours and 1 minute long, I believe. And the 1973 version was also 2 hours and 1 minute long. So there's that. Anyways, that does it for today's vlog. We got one birthday to wish today, or two birthdays, excuse me. I want to wish Addison Ray Easterling a happy birthday, and Melia Kryling a happy birthday today as well. And that does it for birthdays. My love story exists out there in the world somewhere, and she's famous, whether that be a model, a swimsuit model, an Instagram model, whatever kind of model. an actress, whether it's TV or movies or something along those lines, whether it's a singer-songwriter slash musician, whether it's a YouTuber or a social media influencer, she's famous in some way, shape, or form. She could be, 30 miles away from me, or she could be 15,000 miles away from me. I don't know at this point, but we'll just have to figure all that stuff out at a later date. And with that being said, I will see you tomorrow. Now, I know I said that 3 times at the end of this vlog, and I apologize for saying it so many times, but I will see you tomorrow with a brand new vlog, and bye-bye.